Welcome to Not Done Yet, real conversations for midlife women who refuse to shrink. And I'm excited to be here recording with Ruby again, who is a full-time teacher, runs her own organic skincare brand, and does a lot more besides. So Ruby doesn't even know what I'm doing this podcast about. I said, I'm just going to chuck you in this one and start you off with, did you always see yourself as this multi-layered woman?
No, absolutely not. I used to fantasize being even a teacher when I was young because I got married really early, had my kids really early, no GCSEs. Oh my gosh, no GCSEs. And suddenly I decided to go and get my GCSEs, get my degree, become a teacher. And that was my fantasy over, done with. Actually, another one was owning a beetle.
Oh, a car?
Yeah, not the actual beetle. And I even got that, and I'm like, yes, I've got there. And then I don't know, things just kept coming on, and I kept saying yes. And yeah, when you call me, what did you call me?
Multi-layered woman.
Woman. Yes, I did not know I would ever be that, but it's overwhelming. I'm going to say it's overwhelming, but I love it.
So here's the question. This is what I wanted us to go into a little bit today. Do you think that women get quieter about their dreams and ambitions as they get older, and particularly in midlife?
No, I think women they cut the toxic out. First of all, that's what women do. And with that space, they then become who they always wanted to be. Because I think every 16-year-old girl, definitely me and my friends, we all had this image of what we would be when we were older. And we had all these fantastical dreams, which you kind of put on hold. You've had your kid, you've got your career building, or you've growing your family, or people need you, people want you at that time. And then when you're older, you can cut off what's not needed and what's not wanted, and then you just because you've got the space to become who you want to be, and then you get loud about it. Absolutely.
But I think we are going to have some people listening into this, and it is very common for women, I'm going to say particularly in their 40s and 50s, that they get to a place that they are maybe working full time, maybe they're mums, maybe they're looking after elderly relatives. Some of them also have like a side business going on, and maybe they have these big dreams, but actually they're thinking, I can't, it's nice to have these dreams, but I have my priorities are all these things, and I do think there's a lot of women who squash those.
I am
dreams.
needed, therefore I will squish myself. I will small. I hate that word, and that's what I did most of my life. You small yourself. It's not even grammatically correct.
It's not. We're meant to be
teachers.
That's why I'm big on grammar. She's big on grammar.
Yes, but you kind of small yourself. You shrink your words. Shrink yourself to become who others want you to be, because who you want to be is never going to be small. Who you want to be is going to be large and louder than life in your own little world. I'm not saying larger than life in your town or whatever, but just in your own little world. And you shrink her and you shrink her. 7-year-old Ruby did not just want to be basic. She wanted to be an author. She wanted to be this. She wanted to. When you read these books and you see these characters come to life and these adventures, and you never think, oh well, I don't want these adventures. I don't want to live like that. I just want to sit at home and do nothing. And there's nothing wrong with that, because that could be your big life. But yeah, I think you've got to stop subduing and shrinking and smalling yourself and become who you grow into who you were always meant to be.
And I think that can be really hard, because that's something that Ruby and I are both passionate about. Is I've had an amazing life. I say that as if it's over. Not done yet. I've had an amazing life, but I think I got to the point I was conforming, I think is the word, and it was my choice along. No one made me do any of it, but I was conforming to something, and I did feel like I had bigger dreams. And I think you can get stuck with, this is where I am. This is where my dreams are and where I am, and that there is no obvious path. So it's about, if you are listening to this and you've got some kind of big dream, just a teeny tiny thing, and it could be having a conversation or a coffee with someone who is somewhere along the line to where you want to be. It can be that simple, but until you take that first even teeny tiny step, And it might put you way out of your comfort zone, even to do that. But I think that's what I would love to convey in these. And I know we're keeping them nice and short. And I think this is going to be more than one, is helping some of you to see that vision and to just take a tiny step towards it.
It's not the big step. It's not the my words, brain fog. It's not the, hold on.
We'll help you with brain fog on a different
lottery. It's not the lottery that is handed to you. You've got to take the steps. And even if it was a lottery, you wouldn't know what to do it. But if you do it systematically, for instance, I'm going to give you an example. My daughter wants to do something online, and she wants to do influence on makeup. I think it's makeup that she really wants to sort of focus in on. And she's like, but look at everybody that I'm following. Look how brilliant they are. How am I going to get there? And how I did it was, sorry, I probably brushed that as well. How I did it was, I looked at people's Instagram pages and scrolled right to the bottom to their first ones. And they were basic. Nobody had a polished one. It was like 2-3 years. I'm not talking 2-3 days, weeks, months. 2-3 years later that I saw the upgrade. Then a few more years later, because I was following dates as well. And I thought it took them 5 years of small incremental steps that you were talking about to get where they are now. So there's hope. There's hope for all of us.
And I was full-time teaching like Ruby is, and I did a course alongside my 50-60 hours full-time teaching. I thought, you know what, this is something I need to try. So I trained as a life coach while working 50-60 hours. Then I started training as a nutrition coach. And yes, it's a lot, but if you are really passionate about your dream, so I feel like we need to give people, like, what is one little takeaway that you would like to give first?
Write it down. Write your crazy dream down that you feel like, yeah, it may be down the line, but it's there. It's sitting there. Just write it down. Just dare to write down what you want to be or what you want. Then you can take steps. Right, okay, if I'm 3 years away from that, what could I do today? Who can I be today to get there?
I'll tell you what I'm going to put then as my little next step. You can find Ruby online as Glow by Lulu, and you can find me online as Ultimate Health by Ellie. And if you would like, tell us, and we're not going to share it anywhere, tell us that big dream. So maybe with you, we can help you come up with that first teeny tiny step. So Glow by Lulu, Ultimate Health by Ellie, let's hear your dreams and let's just take that tiny step towards making them happen.
Yeah, let's be the queens that we were always meant to be.
We will see you on the next one.
Bye.